Faster Fluency Conversation Club podcast, episode 315. How do you do an immersion at home? Welcome to the Faster Fluency Conversation Club podcast by Business English with Christina. The Faster Fluency Conversation Club takes place on Zoom and is a way for you to improve your fluency and confidence in English by talking about real-world topics. We meet for 1 hour every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, and we would love you to join us. If you want to practice your English, become more confident, and meet people just like you from all around the world, and have guidance from my expert teachers and me, just click the link in the show notes. Our podcast listeners receive a 50% discount on the first month of membership with the discount code FFCC50. Come and join us today. Hi, everybody. Christina here with the Faster Fluency Conversation Club podcast. I hope you are doing well in this new year. Today, I'm here with Matthew. Matthew, how are you doing in this new year?
Doing great.
Yeah,
Thank
you're
you.
out of lockdown finally, so doing
Yes,
better
yes,
than before,
yes.
right?
Things are much better than at the beginning of the year.
Yeah,
And we're only 7-10 days into it. So,
exactly. So let's hope it continues on that
yeah,
trajectory of just getting better and
yes,
better
yes.
as we go. We'll see. So this week, we're talking about virtual immersions. Over on the video this week, we've got some step-by-step plan on how to create a virtual immersion at home. It's one idea. It's not the only idea. There's not one right way to do this. So I guess I'm curious to know, I know that you learned Japanese. How did you learn it? Did you do some kind of immersion in your own little environment?
I did. I mean, even though I was living in Japan at the
Yeah,
time,
it
but
does
at
help. Yeah.
home, yes, of course. Like one thing that was really helpful was I would put post-it sticky notes all over my apartment. So
Yeah.
especially in the beginning, just the words for things like
Mm,
refrigerator was on the refrigerator,
right.
dryer was on the dryer. And then as I was starting to learn more and more words, I would just change and put anything up there.
Mm,
Just that was kind of always something to look at
mm-hmm.
around the house. Your eyes are, when you're moving around, you can't avoid seeing
Right.
those things.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, so that was one. And then another thing was I just always had the TV on,
Yeah.
always.
Right. Yeah.
And, I wasn't really paying attention exactly to it. It was just kind
Mm,
of background noise.
mm-hmm.
But, if I heard expressions that over and over again, I would take notes of those, or just new expressions that I didn't know and I
Mm,
thought were interesting. So, you can do that with the TV, just having it on as background noise,
right.
or music, having music on in the background.
Yeah. Yeah.
Those are
Podcasts are really good for that. Yeah. Because
podcasts.
you can
Yep,
take
yep.
them with you everywhere. Yeah.
So
I
how about
think
you?
it's, let's see. So what are some of the things that I do? Because it's interesting because, you said, oh, I learned Japanese, but I was in Japan. And so, of course, that does help, but you don't have to be in the country to learn the language. And, I'm sure as well, a lot of people that live in a country and they've been there for 10 years, they still don't quite speak the language except
Oh,
for
sure.
to get around. So it's going to live in the country is fantastic. It's a great opportunity for lots of reasons, not just language. But maybe if you don't have that opportunity, you can't say, oh, well, I just have to go and live in the country and that's the only way. No. So what do? I tend to try to set up routines. Doesn't mean I always follow the routine, but I think the idea is just having that routine kind of in your mind, and you kind of just know that you should be doing this or that you can be doing it, or at a certain moment it's a good time. For example, even this morning, in fact. So, I've been learning German. I'll be honest, for the past couple of weeks, okay, months, I haven't been doing a lot of German just because it's the end of the year. I was like, oh, I just don't want to do anything. And I think everybody goes through those ups and downs, but you can
Of
always keep
course.
coming back to it. And I said, well, this morning I'm going to get back into my German and I'm going to, again, start small. I'm just going to watch a video in German on a YouTube channel that I like, which is called Easy
Hmm.
German.
Hmm.
I think it's very fun. It's way more advanced than my level, but they have subtitles in German and in English. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to just to start getting back into that habit. I'm going to start by watching this video. And maybe this week I'm going to try to watch a German video every morning. And is it going to help me learn German? no, in the sense that I'm not going to come away with tons of vocabulary. But right now, this week, it's just about trying to get that habit in place.
Right, right. That impetus to get back it fully into the swing of things. And I think what you said is really important. Like you said, do I do it all of the time?
mm,
No,
mm,
right? And it's good not to beat yourself up when
yeah.
miss a day or even a week or even a couple
Or
of weeks.
a while.
Um,
Yeah, exactly.
yeah, I was listening to this podcast the other day, and the guy's like, "Yeah, I have a rule of like no business before noon."
Mm,
And the other person asked them, he's like, well, is that possible? How often do you really do that? He's
yeah.
like, well, around 85% of the
Yeah.
time I do, which is really good, I
Yeah.
think.
Which is already pretty
85%.
good. Yeah.
But yeah, it's good not to beat yourself up. And then, yeah, to have those routines in
Mm,
place, especially ones that will get the ball rolling so
yeah.
you can get more into the swing of things. But yeah, like technology, YouTube is such a great place.
Yeah.
You don't need to live in the country to learn a language. I mean, with
Exactly.
the
Not
internet,
anymore anyway. Like maybe in
yes,
the past,
right.
yes, but now it's you can do lots of things. So I think yeah, that's one of the things that I started out this morning, and I actually what I do before I might go to bed is like that. You can't see, you guys on the podcast can't see this, but me and Matthew can see it on the video. I've got my table behind me, and so I'll put my iPad on the table so that when I come in the morning, I just have to turn it on and go onto YouTube and find that video. So making it easy, like what we say in English,
Yes.
removing the friction and making it already easier to do that action.
Yeah, that's like me. I've got on my desk my notebooks. I've got
Yeah,
like three different notebooks. They're all open. So it's
yeah,
not like I don't even have to go through the effort of like opening the notebook. It's like
exactly,
right in
exactly.
front of my face. But
That's it.
yeah,
Yeah,
some other really good things are like on your phone, you can change the settings to
yeah,
English. Your computer, you can change it to
yeah.
English. If you read the news, read it in
Read it in
English,
English.
or
Exactly.
all of
Yeah.
those kinds of things that you
Mm.
would do if you're an English speaker, a
Yeah,
native
that's it.
English speaker.
Yeah.
So look for those things that you do in your daily life. If you can change the language over to English,
Mm.
that really helps.
Yeah, it does because then it just becomes like natural and you're just doing the things you do in your life. You're just doing it in English. And the more you do it, the easier it becomes and the less you have to like spend that mental energy thinking about
Mm,
and like understanding and things like that. It'll come with just regular practice. But yeah, I would
yeah.
say maybe it's, yeah, look, maybe yeah, a good place to start is looking at the easiest things you can do to get a little
Yes.
more English in your life. Like you said, put your computer in English, instead of listening to the news channel in your local language, do it in English. And even if you're not able to follow, let's say, a source that is designed for native speakers, like they have difficulties understanding CNN or the BBC or whatever. The good thing about English is that it's so studied around the world that there are lots of resources that are adapted for different levels
Sure.
for the news, especially. And so,
Sure. Yeah.
yeah,
News is hard, but yeah, I would say, again, with like not trying to be 100%,
yeah,
if you're listening, even if you only catch like 5 words, I
yeah,
think that's great. And then and you learn more and you're learning as you go.
yeah,
You don't need to understand everything 100%.
right.
That's how we learn.
And I
So
think, yeah, I think maybe that's the good rule to take away from this session is don't aim for 100. I mean, aim for 100%, but be satisfied with 70%, 80% or
yeah,
something in terms of understanding and also maybe in terms of keeping up with it because you know that sometimes you're just a little more tired. Sometimes, I don't know, a big meeting is urgent and it throws your plans out of whack or whatever, but every time you maybe like fall off the wagon, you can always get back on. And I think that's like being okay with that. And yes, it's
yes.
not all or nothing. It's like, and it's always it's a progress of learning to learn, I would say. Yeah.
Yeah, right, right, exactly. The percentage that you understand isn't really important. The knowledge that you are improving that percentage by doing
Mm,
this activity is really what I think I would recommend people to focus on.
yeah, exactly. Right. Okie dokie. So I think a lot of good, interesting points there for today. Matthew, thank you very much. And we'll talk to you soon.
Yeah, go immerse yourself in German.
Ja, genau.
See you next time.
Bis später. Thank you for listening again this week. As a bonus for our listeners, we now offer the transcript of this episode for free so you can read after listening. Our goal is to help you improve all aspects of your English. And when you become a member of the Faster Fluency Conversation Club, each week you also get exercises on grammar, vocabulary, pronunciation, and more directly connected to the topic of the conversation each week. In addition to the daily speaking practice in the club, you'll also make friends around the world with professionals just like you, so you have fun learning and remember what you learned better. And because you listen to this podcast, you get a 50% discount on your first month of membership. Just use the code FFCC50. And if you'd like to join the club, the link for more details is in the show notes for this podcast. We hope to see you in the club.